Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm AD5GTT, your go-to for gaming, tech, tips and tricks, or anything you need on DC Dark Legion. So, in today's video, we're going to be checking out another guide. Now, this guide is by a couple people that are going to be at the bottom right here. So I'm pretty sure we've got Quantum, who we've used from before, and a couple other helpers. So, shout out to them guys. So, this guide is about a character tier list. So, it's ranked from best characters to worst characters. So I'm going to talk through all of them and tell you my opinions on them, because this was released a while ago and I reckon a couple of them should be changed around. So, let's get into it. So, starting off first, we've got my favourite hero in this game, Superman. I could go on for days about Superman, man. He is so good on this game. He is my #1 hero on this game. Like, I think he is the best. He's got amazing damage. He can take hits, so he's very durable. You know, he's useful in every game mode. So he's just amazing. Like, there's no reason that he shouldn't be an S tier. Like, he's a definite S tier for me. He's very, very, very good. So I don't even need to say much more about him, you know. Like, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll know how much I love Superman. If you haven't seen them, go and check them out, you know. So, next up, we've got Sinestro. Another one of my favourite characters in this game. Amazing damage. You know, he works usually on the back line, doing damage from long range, so that he doesn't really take damage. Just a very, very, very strong character, to be fair. Like, he's very good. He's very good. He obviously won't be out for a while on these new global servers, so might have to wait a bit for him. But there is a change in schedule to how they're going to release him to pre-beta. So if you haven't seen the new schedule, or you don't know about the new schedule, go and check out my old video. I don't really go too much into it, but it's still worth checking out. So, next up, we've got the Joker. I know how many people love the Joker on this game. He's got one of the highest damages in this game. However, there's only one concern I have with Joker, and that he needs a longer battle to be able to be at his best. So, in some game modes, he's not really like a top tip character to use, but he's still a very, very, very good character, and I think he still deserves to be an S rank. However, for me, I just think the first two are a slight bit better than Joker, because Joker's amazing, like, his damage is amazing, he works from the back like Sinestro does usually, but he just sometimes needs a little while to get going. So that's my only concern about Joker, but otherwise from that, another S tier character, so I understand why he's in S. And then we got Green Lantern. Now, I've got a couple issues around Green Lantern, because for me, I think he's by far the best healer in the game. Like, he's so good. I wish I could get him, but there's a reason I can't get him. And if you've played this game before, you probably know why by now. But he's stuck behind a heavy paywall, and that's the only concern really about this game, is that they have a lot of things just stuck behind a paywall, and he's one of them. You know, if you want to get him fully maxed out, it's going to cost you into the thousands, maybe even above 10,000. Like, he's that expensive. So, apart from that, amazing character. If you're a whale, he's going to be like probably the best or most important character for you. But for me personally, I obviously can't get him, but he definitely deserves to be an S tier, don't get me wrong. It's just very, very difficult to obtain him. So, let's move down to the A+. So first, we've got Zatanna. Now, I don't mind Zatanna being an A+. She's a very strong character. I just, like, if you've seen my previous video, you'll know that I don't really like the team that she has to work around. But as a lone character, A+ is very, very fair for Zatanna. So, I'll give her that. Now, Harley. Very, very strong character, especially for you beginners, because you can get copy of her from the pre-registration rewards once you hit like War Room 8. So make sure to pick Harley. I think she's the best option besides Batman, but I still think she's slightly better than Batman. So yeah, make sure you're picking Harley for that. And you'll also get her after 7 days of logging in, which means you automatically get her to about 3 stars. And when she hits those 3 stars, she becomes pretty solid. So just keep working your way up with Harley, because she's a very, very, very strong mythic character. Maybe one of the strongest mythic characters, because obviously Superman, Sinestro, Joker, Zatanna, they're all mythic plus characters, whereas Harley, she's only a mythic character. So they're sort of different ranks, but mythic characters, you can get like, they're more accessible really. So you'll eventually just earn Harley shards over time, and she's definitely worth upgrading because she's a very strong character. Same thing with the next one really, Poison Ivy. Now there's an event where you have to get like 100 of these things, and then you get to pick a character between her, Lex Luthor, I think it's Batgirl, maybe like one of the Robins, and then someone else. However, the 100% pick you should go with is Poison Ivy. She is by far the best option there. You know, her heals are one of the best in the game besides Green Lantern. So for free to plays, she's like a must-have character. She's got these vines that some of the enemies will attack, which keeps your heroes alive for longer, and it distracts their enemies, so you can be able to beat them quicker. So yeah, just a very, very good character. So make sure you're picking it from there, and then hopefully you get more copies of her. But make sure to build her up, because you've used her, Harley, and Joker in a team, you're going to be pretty good. Now, these next 3 characters you can all see are legendary, and they're all amazing, amazing free-to-play characters, because legendaries are really easy to get shards for. And we've got Wonder Woman, we've got Mara, and we've got Green Arrow. Now, I use all 3 still. I know it's only been like a week or so into the game, but I reckon I'll be using these for a long time. You know, Wonder Woman, super durable, like barely takes any damage. She's just like, she's a brick wall. Like, it's very hard to take her down. Green Arrow, amazing damage from the back line. Like, amazing, amazing damage. He's going to be at least lasting me until I get Sinestro, and then maybe I'll think about putting Sinestro in to replace him. But until I get Sinestro, Green Lantern's not going anywhere. And then Mara. The amount of times Mara saved me with her healing. Like, she should not be a legendary character with that healing. Her healing is top tier. So A+ is fully deserved. Now, we're moving down to the A tier. And this is one of the first ones that I change. Scarecrow. Scarecrow is an amazing character. Like, he's not going to be as good as your S, but he definitely, I reckon, deserves to be an A+. One of the best tanks in the game. But, like, I think Scarecrow is amazing with it being a tank. He's got some of the best synergies in the game. Now, I know this tier list probably isn't ranked on synergies, but he's worth having just to have the synergies alone. Like, he links to the League of Justice. I'm pretty sure. No, actually, anyway, it don't matter what he does. He's got Legion of Doom for sure, and then he's got another one. And they're just broken synergies. He doesn't link to the League of Justice, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, pick up a copy of Scarecrow if you can as a free-to-play, but you should know about that by now if you watched my previous video. If you haven't, be sure to go check it out after this. So, yeah, I'd be moving Scarecrow up to A+. You know, amazing tank. Now, Deathstroke. I wish Deathstroke was good at lower stars, man, because the guy's very good. Like, he definitely deserves a Deathstroke, but I just think that personally, he should just be better at lower stars, because as free-to-plays, it's just never worth using Deathstroke. He's a very strong character, but he's just you need to invest too much in him, and as a free-to-play, it's difficult to do that on this game. Then we've got Dr. Fate, a very strong character. You sort of give shields from the back line to support your characters, and he's just a good character to have, especially for the Justice League team. So, worth having for sure. Batman, I love Batman. I think Batman's amazing, especially in the League of Justice team. Like, he's so strong. But you've got to get him some stars up. However, as strong as he is, definitely make sure you pick Harley, because Harley's just even stronger than Batman. But I do love Batman. Batman deserved A tier. Now, I didn't know much about Aquaman, but I've been playing that mode where you have to reach War Room level 15, and let me tell you, I love his kit. You know, he's an amazing character. His ultimate makes it so he sort of does this wave, and it brings all the characters together and groups them all together. So he'll be very, very useful for sure, especially when like you pair him with Batman, and Batman puts his like ultimate, so like it targets a group area. That's when, like, if you put them two together, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Very, very strong together. Raven, I'm not a big fan of Raven, if I'm gonna be honest. You know, like, as you can see, there's a lot of legendary characters that are just like Mera. Mera basically does what Raven does, but she does it better. So, not a big fan of Raven, if I'm going to be honest. She'll definitely have a use though when the Teen Titans team come out, because she'll be a great healer for that team. Don't get me wrong, but for now, I'm just not a big fan of her. Black Adam, I like Black Adam. Black Adam's used in my team quite a lot. He's sort of like Green Arrow, but with less damage, but he targets multiple people. So he's definitely very useful, but I prefer Green Arrow, but a very, very good character, deserving of that A tier. Now we're moving on to B tier. So first of all, we got Shazam. I think Shazam's pretty good. I don't know what tier I'd rate him, but he's pretty good. Maybe B's fair. Maybe B's fair. Because very strong tank. You know, sort of does a bit of damage, but that's not really what he's used for. So, plus I'm pretty sure he gets a second life, so that's always pretty good. But yeah, next character, we've got one of the Robins. I think the better Robin for sure. You know, very, very, very strong. But B tier is also fair for him. I've seen him do a lot of damage though for people that are on like the beta servers. Like I've seen like 3 million plus damage for him, so I know he can be strong. But I think it's just about making sure that he stays alive. But then we've got Two-Face. Haven't really used Two-Face, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I can't really comment on Two-Face, if I'm being honest. But I'm pretty sure B's fair for him. I haven't seen any complaints about Two-Face being in B. Lex Luthor. I think Lex Luthor was very, very solid. Like, I was using him in that mode, doing a lot of damage from the bat line. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Lex Luthor. If we manage to get a copy of him, he'll be a good character for you. Cyborg, I like Cyborg. You know, Justice League synergies. You only need one copy of him as a free-to-play to get a good use out of him. Very, very strong character, Cyborg. Same can be said about Flash, really. Flash, you only really need one character to get him going. If you get them two, both at one copy, you can definitely find use for them in your teams. Batgirl, I don't even know what Batgirl does, but every time I seem to use Batgirl, she just sort of like helps me to win more battles. So I like Batgirl, especially in the Batman family team. She's very strong in the Batman family team. But not entirely sure what her kit does, but I know she's pretty solid. And then we've got Red Hood. Now, Red Hood's damage is amazing. I'm pretty sure Red Hood's damage is better than Green Arrow's. But the one problem about Red Hood is that he usually just, you know, he usually runs into battle where I'll take more damage, and like once he uses that ultimate and takes more damage, he's just not really usable after that. So he's a very, very strong character, but he just needs to be kept alive, and at the lower tiers it's just not easy to do that. But if you manage to get him up a couple stars, he's definitely a character worth investing in. Now moving down to the C tier, we got Bane. I've heard multiple good reviews about Bane, so I'd be moving him up to at least B tier. You know, like, I've heard he's incredibly strong from people in my league and people in my server. So, I'm not really sure why he's down at C tier, but I don't know. Next up, we got the worst Robin. I'm not really sure what his name is. I know it's not just Robin, but I've heard he's not amazing. Like, I heard he's okay, but he's not that great. Then we've got, what was that guy's name again? I'm not sure, but I managed to get him earlier. I haven't started him up or anything yet, so I'm not really going to comment on him, but I don't think his kit looks amazing, so I'm not too bothered about him, because I don't think he's going to be like the most amazing character in the world. Then we got Penguin. I don't think he's that great. I think CC is very fair for him. Like, he's not amazing. He's got his uses, but he's not amazing. Then we got Killer Croc. Amazing tank for free to play to start with, but he will fall off eventually in the end game. But he's all right. I mean, like, he's okay. Then we got Captain Cold. He's not that great. He's not that great, if I'm being honest. Like, I thought he'd be better than what he is looking at his kit, but he's just not great. Vixen. I've seen Vixen get a bit of use, but I don't use her really that much personally. But she's okay. I'd definitely put her above Captain Cold, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't know. She's not that great either. And then this D tier, they all just speak for themselves. I mean, Atom, he's got a use. I've used Atom. He's okay. Like, his main thing is to run into the battle, use his ultimate. But then the only issue is after he uses his ultimate, he will go away. But he manages to stun them for a couple seconds. So he's definitely useful if like you're being overcrowded and you just need that couple seconds to do a bit more damage. But apart from that, he's not great. Catwoman, I haven't used, but I'm pretty sure she's in the Birds of Prey team. So I think that's the use for her, but I don't really think she's that good. Black Canary, apparently just not a very, very good mythic. Apparently she needs like a big buff. So, yeah, stay away from her for now. And then, I can't even remember what this other girl's called. But I did use her in that event, or whatever mode it is. And she was okay. She wasn't amazing, but she did okay. Like, she's not the worst character in the game, but she's definitely nowhere near the best. So, yeah. Again, shout out to the people who made this tier list. It's very, very, very useful. And yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.